What up, YouTube? What up, world? It's your boy, the author. Right back at that ass again. Here's another one. What's going on? Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you and yours, man. Happy Thanksgiving, even though I'm not a big, Thanksgiving fan or a big holiday fan. I guess I've done, too much research. I'm, all into it, in terms of what the holidays are based on. Don't get me wrong, if somebody still offers me a plate of holiday food and it smells good at Thanksgiving, I might still take a piece of something. But, I'm not too big on the holidays like that. But I do wish for everyone who do celebrate the holidays, I wish you a happy holiday. Be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. I just want to make this quick video, man. Didn't plan on making a video at all today, but I saw this video, man, that this guy made about Hollywood and the new generation of entertainers. And based on what I saw, man, he was talking about the rap industry in particular. And that's pretty, and once he talked about rap, that pretty much, caught my ear because basically, I was a big fan of rap in the hip hop culture. And I started listening as a young kid, man, since I was like about 10 years old. The first tape my mother brought home, she said a white dude gave it to her, right? And it was two tapes actually. It was Raising Hell by Run DMC, and it was a LL Cool J joint as well. And that was the first time I had ever heard rap. I think this was I'm from Rochester, New York, so not New York City, but I was up north, up northern New York, western New York. So anyway, that's the first time I heard it, and then I asked my mother who gave it to her. She said some guy at work. So this is back in '87, and by '88 I was watching the BET videos, and '88 is also when MTV first dropped Yo MTV Raps, and I started seeing the emergence of Big Daddy Kane, who was one of my favorite MCs at the time, and the first tapes I ever owned. I think my mother had bought it for me. It was a NWA Straight Outta Compton tape that was edited. This is back in the days with tapes, not the CD, but the tape. And the second tape I had was Follow the Leader by Rakim and Eric B. and Rakim. Back when the DJ came first. Because the DJ started hip hop, but yeah, man. So and yeah, like my favorite rapper, Big Daddy Kane. I saw Ain't No Half Stepping, one of the first videos I had ever seen on there, and had those tapes, man, and then listened to those tapes, and I had ever since my mother had turned me on to it in '87. That's all I used to watch and listen to up until about '96 when I left off for the service, man, for the Navy. But even then, I was still listening to it. But I've noticed a lot of changes in the music, man. And we used to have this radio station back home too when I was in high school. I believe it was the college radio station, and the college played all the underground. And I think there was a WITR, or they were like a college station out of RIT. I think they're out of U of R, University of Rochester. But they used to play hip hop nonstop, man, from 10 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. I used to stay on the phone with my homie, and we will be recording. I had a recorder, and I record tapes, man, and bring them to school. And I was deep into it like that. But to make a long story short, man, he was talking. The video I just watched was talking about the new generation of artists and how they're talking about Xanax and And the new artist, it's all about getting high and getting, stoned. And one thing I noticed, man, he talked about a few of the new artists. Some of these guys weren't even born until the year 2000. But he talked about the new emerging artists, man. One guy just died of a Xanax overdose, I think, last week. I guess it was a little Peep or something like that. And I think he's a white artist. And another guy is he talked about Little Pump and uh, Takeshi 69. I mean, he was just talking about pretty much the what direction the new rappers are going in, and this is something that was brought to my attention, man. It reminded me of when I was listening to the radio station back in the mid '90s. A guy said this. He said that soon it's going to be the reemergence of or it's going to be the elevation of the white rappers are pretty much going to take over the game. And all the guy who just overdosed, and he mentioned three other artists, man. The Little Peep and the Little Pump and the Takeshi, and then he showed this white female rapper. The brothers are gonna have to find another job, man. Brothers are gonna be put on the breadline because they're gonna take. I saw those videos and I was seeing how more and more the blacks are being pushed to the back of the video, because they'll still use us in the video to promote it, but they've been pushed to the back, and if they're in it, and these white artists, man, are taking the floor, bro, and the white artists, they could sound, they've mimicked they've studied the style of some of these guys so well, and now it's really easy to mimic a black rap artist because a lot of the mainstream artists sound the same. Because back when I was coming up, when I first started listening to it in '87, and then I think the hip hop really first came on the scene like the late '70s. With a lot of the groups, MC Cass or Casanova and a lot of those guys. DJ Kool Herc. Chuck Chill Out, and Dougie Fresh. I think he was one of the first artists to get signed to the first rap artist to get signed to a label in 1980. But I caught it in the late 80s, and back then, man, excuse me, being original was everything. You know what I mean? Even Big Daddy Kane, Ain't No Half Steppin' is one of my favorite songs, and he was like, rappers are starting to sound so similar. It's kind of confusing for you to remember the originator, and boy, do I hate a perpetrator. But I'm much greater. It was really big to be original. And so if Daddy Kane has his style, Rakim has his style, Cool G Rap has his style. Then you had groups like Brand Nubian, they had their style. Tribe Called Quest had their style. Sadat X had his style. Then later on, Daz Effects came out, but they had their style. Everybody when everybody has their own style, it's for a faker to come in there. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to mimic. These styles, and there's so many different styles. But now, how they've made the mainstream, pretty much everyone has that digital crazy sounding dang, I get to smoke the trees, I get to sniff the breeze. They got that little voice alterating system, that weird shit. It's easy for some of these new artists to copy that. And so a lot of these, and I've seen even a white dude on Facebook was rapping, man. He sounds just like a lot of these dudes, these 2 Chainz and these other guys that are already out, man. And these guys, the black rap artists, man, they better be ready to take a back seat, man. I mean, because they've been planning on this for quite some time. And this happened in other genres of music already, because Little Richard created rock and roll. I mean, don't get it twisted. Some of y'all already know that, but many of y'all don't. Rock and roll, there was rock and roll never was based on heavy metal and all that stuff. That was hijacked. Rock and roll was what Little Richard was doing, because it was called rock and roll because you do like that Tutti Frutti on Rudy, Tutti Frutti on Dude, and it was rock and roll because you rolled along with the beat and you rocked to the music. He's like woo woo Tutti Frutti on Rudy, a wop bop doo wop a bop bam boom. No, not to say that Little Richard wasn't a little effeminate, and Prince and Michael Jackson kind of took his lead, but at the same time he was original, and he created rock and roll. And then later on it caught on and became and got to the Twisted Sisters, and they made it into heavy metal and all that, man. Elvis tried to infiltrate it, and then later on it just started getting into rock, and then Kurt Cobain took it in another direction, and then the Foo Fighters. But originally rock and roll was what Little Richard was doing. But every music we've had, every music form the black man's had has been hijacked from him, man. Ever since the dawn of time. And it's not like I'm trying to be, on a racist tip, but I mean all of us are racist, I think, to a point. But the black man is really the originator of the music, man. Of all the musical art forms, pretty much, with the exception of a few, the most popular genres, the rock and the rhythm and blues and the gospel, we brought that to the forefront. And each time when we bring it to the forefront, in the beginning, it's the brothers doing it, and then at least on the surface, we're performing, and because the money is handled by Irish or Italian or whomever, but the brothers will start to they'll build it up, they'll tour, and they'll go ahead and make the hit songs. And then after a while, somebody will come in and white folks, they'll take that too, man. They'll go ahead and take the whole thing over. And I'm seeing the same thing with rap, man. And it all started when because at first Vanilla Ice came out, and it was like, oh, okay, well, he did have a hit song, but people was like, yeah, but once they found out that he stole that from a brother, his credibility went down. But then they waited a while, then they came back with Eminem. And and like I said, when he first came out, I was impressed, but really, all he did was take Rakim's and Tretch's style, and he put those together, and he ran with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why in one of the award shows, when he accepted his award, he gave a shout out to Tretch, Rakim, Cool G Rap. He was highly influenced by these guys. And now you have guys coming out saying that Eminem is the best rapper of all time. So, and then you have brothers with credibility who have been in the game for quite some time. They're the ones co-signing, saying that Eminem is the best rapper of all time. So now you got more white rappers stepping out, looking to, okay, I'm gonna add on to the Eminem legacy. A lot of new rappers coming in saying that Eminem's the best rapper of all time. A lot of these new guys don't know anything about Rakim. They don't know anything about Cool G Rap. They don't even care. And a lot of these newer, white rappers, I don't like them. I think the game's been in the trash. But what a lot of brothers have to understand is, man, they gonna push you totally out, because they ain't gonna let you. There's no need for you to manage the label. It's not like with the Jay-Z type thing where, pretty much when something first starts out, and if the Irish or Italians don't understand it, or i.e. white people don't understand it, they'll let you take it and you can have a label. Now they'll still control the distribution, but you can pretty much have the label and bring on who you want. But once they have a hold of that, where's your place? They're not gonna let you be over the distribution, because then you'll be making more money in the game than they are. They don't need you to be a label mate anymore. They don't even need you as a rapper. You know, all the beats pretty much sound the same anyway. So they come in and bring their guys. What do? They're gonna push you out, just like when a new company takes over. You know what happens? They take over, and if they bring their own guys, then they either take over, and then the old team, you know, pretty much goes along with the new rules, if there are any, or he'll bring his own guys and push you out. So black rappers, even the females, man, they got a lot of these white females that sound just like black females on the mic. So there's no place for the Nicki Minaj's either. So they're gonna push blacks out completely. You're gonna have to make another form of music or something, because it's happening, bro. With the guy, that Takeshi 69 or so, whoever, he was they was talking about Bloods, and he was in the front. And had the brothers in the back doing some old shuck and jive, you know, some Uncle Tom steps. I don't even know what was going on, man. And then he said in the interview he hang with Crips and Bloods. Now some of these guys, I think these so-called musicians are obviously CIA agents. They're trying to infiltrate and cause dissension or cause chaos and the black, for more chaos in the black community. So some of these guys are CIA and FBI and DEA plants. But still, I mean, even with these guys being plants, the race issue is still a factor, man. So you brothers out here, man, talking about you want to be rappers, man, it's about to get even worse, bro. It's gonna get harder, because they're gonna be looking to sign the next white dude. You know, I mean, it's happening, man. They're infiltrating the game, man. They're popping up all over the place, sounding just like brothers, mimicking the voice, have the styles down. They've studied the game. They've studied these brothers well. You know, the turns and the mannerisms with the fingers. These white folks had that shit down. So I mean, they are, you know. So it ain't enough where they're gonna control all the money. They just you won't even be the front act at all. It'll just be like rock and roll. Well, when you see rock and roll now, you just see pretty much, you don't see any brothers for the most part. You would have thought, if you didn't know the history of it, you would have thought that the whites came out with the rock and roll. You would have known, you know what I'm saying? That's what I used to think. But I know Little Richard pretty much, you know, created rock and roll, and it was a rock, doom, 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 doom. It was, you know, that's why they called it that. I didn't know, you know, he never had no intention for a heavy metal and kicking in speakers and all that nonsense. He, you know, he and the devil taught. He never was a part of it. He never, you know, he didn't say anything about that. He just had the rock and the roll. That's it. But they gonna take it and then form it into something else. So your brothers get ready to be on that bread line, man, because I better find something else to do, because they're pushing, you know, the few blacks that they are allowing in the videos. They're gonna push y'all to the back, man. Y'all ain't gonna be the center anymore. Black females gonna be out too. They're gonna put the white females gonna be the Nicki Minaj's, man. She already lightened her skin already, so you know they won't even notice. You know, so they gonna take over the whole. They about to take over the wheel, man. So they won't need us in any component of that. So it's another music form hijacked. You know, but just let me know what y'all think, man. Like I said, y'all can look these guys up. I didn't know about these guys till today, because I haven't watched a music video in a long time, man. If I do, you know, I'll go on YouTube and watch some of the classics I used to watch when I was growing up in the 90s. So I don't keep up with too many of the new. I don't watch VH1, MTV, BET. I was told by one of my coworkers you can't really find videos on like you used to. I saw some video the other day once I was browsing through some channel. But I don't even really watch videos like that. So I just know of these guys because This the brother's video I was watching. He was bringing these up to make him a point, but y'all can go ahead and research it. The Little Peep and the Little Pump. I think the Little Pump, or he's one of those guys that just died last week of a overdose. They said the kid was laying, little Peep and Little Pump. They said a guy was laying on the hours before he overdosed. He was laying in the back of a car, dropping Xanax in his mouth, man. Eating Xanax pills like they were popcorn. But weird shit. But yeah, man. But yeah, just excuse me. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about that, man. Have you noticed that if you still kind of keep your ear to the music industry, or if you have kids who watch the videos, and if you did grow up on hip hop, let me know what you think about this, man. Are you noticing this infiltration of pretty much whites being in the front of those videos? Because I mean, and some of these guys, I think that Takeshi says he's a Spanish, he has a Spanish last name, but I mean, you look at him, man, he looks like an Irish dude. He has his hair coming down. He's not like a brown skin Hispanic like an Alpo or something like that. Alpo Martinez from New York City. He's more like a very light skinned complected. I'm just saying, Now, I'm just saying, because when I was watching rap videos back in the day, bro, you didn't see white guys in the video at all. The only white groups that was out that I saw was the Beastie Boys. I saw them sometimes in Third Base, and even in Third Base they had a brother in there. You know what I'm saying? And Third Base wasn't really trying so hard to be like other blacks. They had their own style. One dude was a cool dude who sat on the throne. Then you had I forgot my man's name. The white dude with the big hair. I forgot what his name is, man. It was right on the tip of my tongue, but he had his own style. And then there was the brother in there. They wasn't trying to mimic. And Beastie Boys had their own style. They was respected. They just did their own thing. You got to fight for your right to party. But I mean, you saw them once in the blue. But for the most part, I just saw Rakim, Coogee Rap. My name is G-Rap. I'm on the road to the riches. I saw Kid and Play, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest. Like you say, Brand Nubian. That's pretty much who I saw. Then later on in the 90s, Onyx, and a lot of those guys and things of that nature. Del the Funky Homo Sapien and things like that, man. Those are who, and then of course you had your NWA and your Onyx and things like that, Das Effects. But I mean, that's all you saw was brothers in the video, and then you saw the actual artists. You didn't really see how, the cars and the chains. That was when they were promoting the artist. But now it's gonna be a whole new script, man. They writing brothers out of the rap script. It look like it's about to be over. But yeah, just let me know what you think, man. Like, subscribe, be sure to share, and let me know what you think. All right. Again, enjoy your holidays, man. This is your boy, the author, signing off.